camera was giving me fuss. Okay. I just figured we go for something a little sweet and a little fancy today. We're going to do creme brulee in a mug. I know, a little bit different. A little bit more complicated sounding, but it's not really. It's quite simple. So you're wanting, or past the wanting to impress somebody, this is more of a treat for yourself if you've been canceled on by the same person 4 times. I don't need to hear it. Already been through it. I know I'm not very bright. But anyway, okay. To start with your creme brulee in a mug, get yourself a little microwavable bowl. Get yourself 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm making mine a little bit bigger than some recipes call for, but who is a tiny little 2-ounce dessert? I don't know. Anyway, you put your 4 ounces of cream cheese in a bowl. Then you're going to microwave it for like 15 seconds because we want it really soft. And again, I'm using blueberry cream cheese simply because I didn't have anything else in the fridge. You think I'd learn after all this time, but I really just decided like a couple minutes ago what I was actually going to make today. I know, everybody's shocked. Well, while you're microwaving that, even though it beeped, you're going to get yourself 2 eggs, and I'm going to show you how to separate the eggs, because all you need right now is the yolk. So let's see how soft this is first. Okay, I want mine a little bit softer, so I'm going to do it for 10 more seconds. As soon as that's done, I'll show you how to separate the eggs. Because like I said, we just want the yolk. What you do with the whites is up to you. Make yourself a little egg white omelet. I don't know. Probably what I'll do later. Okay. Now that your cream cheese is extra soft, you set that right here. Because after you separate your eggs, your egg yolks are going to go right into... Okay, make sure your hands are clean, and gently put the egg, just pour it right into your hand, and the whites, if you're careful, are going to slide right through your fingers into the bowl. You might have to wobble it back and forth a couple times until all you're left with is the yolk. And plop that over into your cream cheese, and repeat. Okay, get a little towel and wipe off your hands. Okay, and set aside your egg whites because you're not going to need them today. And you're going to stir your egg yolks into your cream cheese. Get that all mixed up. I know it's not going to look great, but trust me, you're on your way to tasting really good. Okay, once you get that stirred up, you're going to head for your sugar. You're going to get 4 tablespoonfuls of sugar right in there. Now we're going to get that all mixed up. Can you get it all stirred up until it's nice and smooth? And then we're going to head for your vanilla. And you're going to get, what am I looking here? Sorry, reading my recipe. Now you can see how much I prepare ahead of time. 4 teaspoons of vanilla. Now, the recipe that I'm reading off of suggests that if you want to make the adult version, instead of vanilla, you can use bourbon. but I'm just going to stick with the vanilla. At this point, you can still use a spoon if you want to stir it up, but I'm going to switch to a mini whisk, just because I have one. And it's cute. Because you got to get that all stirred up until it's nice and smooth and combined. I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but it's not too big a deal because I'm going to be pouring it into my mug here. Average size mug is fine today, nothing too fancy. Okay, so get your mug and get your mix here, and you pour that right into your mug. Now, if you want to be fancy and you have a guest over, you can get yourself 2 cute little ramekins or something and split it up and share. But if you're like me and it's been a cruddy week and you just want to stuff your face with something good, get your own personal favorite mug. Okay. I'm going to whisk that up just a little bit more. Got a nice liquid mixture in there. You're going to head for your microwave. Now we're going to do ours for about 35 seconds and then we're going to check it. Well, while we're doing that, we can get your other bowl and get, what am I reading here? 3 tablespoonfuls of sugar to put in there. Because what you're making right now is the topping. And if you're lucky enough to happen to have actual maple syrup, this is where you'd use it, but since all I got pancake syrup, we're going to try it with that. So you take your 3 tablespoons full of sugar, you're going to put that in the bowl, and then you're going to take 2 tablespoonfuls of the maple syrup and put that in with your sugar. Just as we get that put in there, we will check on our, because you want it firm, but you want your creme brulee firm, but not like cooked, I guess you could say. Okay, so we'll leave that there and go check on our creme brulee. See, because I used a mug and not sort of a flat ramekin, you can see it's still probably pretty liquidy. So I'm going to put mine in for a minute. I know we already did it for 35 seconds, but we're going to try it for a minute here. And while we're doing that, we're going to stir together our syrup and our sugar. You can see that it's probably getting quite a little bit tricky to get stirred together, but that's what we're doing. Because we're going to be putting this in the microwave a little bit too, so. Now this is a recipe you probably have to let stand out on the counter so that the topping can harden a little bit. Don't put it in, this is what I'm going to tell you, do not put in the fridge to harden because the topping will get soft and runny. And you want it to get a little bit like an actual creme brulee, a little bit harder, so that it doesn't get all mushy. That's why we don't put it in. Okay, let's check on her. Oh, I hear bubbling. Okay, let me see if that's... And you can see that well, it's set. You may not need to do it quite that long depending on the dish you use, because I think, yeah, it looks good. You can see it's still, you can tell, I can't tilt it over to show you, it's still a little bit liquidy in the center, but that's how we like it. We want it just set up. Okay, so now we're going to put our topping mixture in the microwave for about 20 seconds. Because we want to get the topping mixture bubbly. Okay, now we'll check on that. Nice and drizzly and bubbly. We're just going to pour that in over top of our creme brulee mixture. And like I said, this is one I'm actually not going to be able to show you that I'm eating, but trust me, I will in a little bit, because that needs to sit on the counter for a little while until it cools and everything firms up and hardens up, and then you're going to have a nice creme brulee. Like I said, my times might be a little longer than yours will be, but that's just mostly because I used a taller mug. If you use, say, a flatter bowl, your cooking times might be a little less than what I did. But it's still going to be an awesome creme brulee and a good little treat, either to share if you're feeling generous or to stuff your face with if you've had a kind of a cruddy week like I have. Okay, I'll see you next week, and maybe we'll return to do something chocolate. See you then.